Some platinums can feel like a lot of work, but Spyro the Dragon, this one felt like getting to visit pure childhood magic, one gem at a time. Spyro the Dragon is one of those timeless PlayStation icons. Back in the late 90s, it stood shoulder to shoulder with Crash Bandicoot as one of the mascots that helped define the original PlayStation era. For so many players, it was their introduction to colorful open levels, gliding across platforms, and obsessively chasing collectibles in worlds that felt so alive. Fast forward to today, and thanks to the Spyro Reignited trilogy, these same adventures have been beautifully remade for modern consoles. The graphics are sharper, the animation's more expressive, and the controls way smoother. But the heart of this game is still the same. You're exploring vibrant realms, freeing dragons, and gathering every gem you can find along the way. Going for the platinum here wasn't just about knocking out another list of trophies. It was about celebrating what made this series special in the first place. The trophy list itself is a perfect fit for Spyro. It doesn't bury you in unnecessary grind or ridiculous challenges. Instead, it nudges you to slow down, to explore every corner of each level, and to enjoy the charm that made this game stand out decades ago. And that's why the platinum is so meaningful. It wasn't just about completion, it was about reconnecting with the joy and all the things that I missed when I first played this game growing up. Spyro reminded me that sometimes the best platinums aren't the ones that test your endurance or patience. They're the ones that make you smile the entire way through. Now real quick, I'll give you some backstory if you have no idea what Spyro the Dragon is. It was originally released back in 1998 on the original PlayStation, developed by Insomniac Games. Yeah, those guys that would later go on to make Ratchet & Clank and Marvel's Spider-Man, those ones. Spyro quickly became one of the most recognizable PlayStation mascots of the late 90s, standing side by side with Crash Bandicoot as part of the console's identity. The game is a colorful 3D platformer set across multiple fantasy-themed worlds, each filled with enemies, puzzles, and most famously, hundreds of collectible gems. The main goal of the original game was to free the dragons who had been turned into crystal while mastering Spyro's abilities, charging enemies, and gliding between platforms. In 2018, the series was revived through the Spyro Reignited trilogy, a full HD remaster developed by Toys for Bob. This trilogy included Spyro the Dragon, Ripto's Rage, and The Year of the Dragon. These were rebuilt with modern visuals, re-recorded dialogue, and updated controls while trying to stay as true as possible to the charm of the original. But enough of that, let's jump into the Platinum journey. And to start off the Platinum journey, I started off by looking up a guide for this game, and according to PSN profiles, the game would take roughly about 8 hours to complete the Platinum, and the first and only step was really to enjoy the game. So I figured I would just play the game and try to grab as many trophies along the way during my first playthrough of the main story. Now, it has been a super long time since I played this game. I originally played it when both of my brothers owned an original PlayStation. Now, that was back in the day when games wouldn't save, so I was playing the first world every single time. However, I remember how much I enjoyed this game and just being able to glide around as Spyro. I never got too far into it or got to experience much further than the first world. And going into this, I know this game isn't going to be super long either. But here's the thing, making these videos allows me to go back and visit all of these games that I never got to fully experience growing up. That's why I play these games, why I go for the Platinum trophies. So I figured, I already played Sly Cooper, why not go for another iconic PlayStation series that I was not able to experience fully growing up as a kid? So let's jump into this. We are introduced to the dragons of the world when we are told that Gnasty Gnorc was not a threat to the dragon world. Well, he saw that on TV and he turned all the dragons to stone, and his minions took over all 5 of the worlds. However, Spyro, our protagonist, who is the smallest possible dragon, was the only one left. Now, it was up to Spyro to visit the different worlds and save all the dragons and get back all of the stolen treasure. And also, Spyro needed to put a stop to Gnasty Gnorc. That's the general gist of the main story. You'll be visiting 6 different worlds in total, and each one of them will have 5 to 6 different portals that you will need to visit in order to complete each world. You would then need to visit the balloonist, and after completing a certain task that he assigns you, you would be available to take the balloon to the next world. Now, this game's Platinum does require you to rescue all 80 dragons and collect 12,000 gems in order to earn the Platinum. So we started off on the dragon world Artisan, and Artisan is also the name of the central hub of this world, so we are going to be spending a lot of time here. During this world, it was all about learning the game, and finding out that I should explore all the nook and crannies that these levels had to offer. Now, the first realm within the Artisan world I visited was Dark Hollow, and this was at the beginning, so I wasn't 100% sure what to expect from these levels. But thankfully, this Spyro game is super generous, and within most of the trophies on the trophy list, it has the name of the level that corresponds with that trophy. So on the Dark Hollow level, all I needed to do was light 2 bonfires. Now, I had no idea if this game was going to attempt to hide things or just leave it in the open, so I started looking everywhere. Fortunately, as I was progressing through the map, I found one of the bonfires, and I realized that there was an identical one on the other side. So in about 45 minutes, I managed to knock out my first trophy of the run, light my fire, With that, we are locked into this run of Spyro the Dragon. So let's keep going. Next, when I got to the hub world of Artisan again, I saw a bunch of random rocks and I decided to jump on them and they started to light up. So I ended up jumping on all of them and I found the hidden level of the map. Totally by accident, by the way. But I got the trophy, Hop, Skip, Jump. In Stone Hill, I managed to fry 10 sheep and got the trophy, Sheep Kebab. I moved on to the town square where I managed to stop the egg thief and got the trophy, Thief on the Wind. I made it to the final level of this world and it was all about flying, and the last trophy in this world was related to making a loop around an arch. Honestly, I had no idea what I was doing for this one. I randomly hit the dodge button and realized that you basically flip. So I tried to do that around one of the main tracks and managed to get the trophy, Barnstormer. At this point we were done with the Artisan world, so I made my way to the balloonist to take me to the next one, and as I left the world I got the trophy, Boom. The next world we entered was the Peacekeeper world, and to enter it we just needed to free 10 dragon. When we arrived, I began to look around the map and I was trying to find all the levels available so that way they were unlocked from the beginning. After collecting some gems along the way, I made it to the first level, and when I got there, I managed to charge and beat a vulture, and with that came a trophy, Bird-Brained. Finishing up the last level, we visited Clifftown next, and this one had a super simple trophy. All I needed to do was flame every single vulture on the map, and easy enough, I got the trophy, Birds of a Feather. Next up we went into Dr. Shemp, and I found the key for the strong chest, and after that I got the trophy, What's in the Box. I realized at this point I actually missed one of the levels on the Artisan world, and I was missing a trophy because of it. So I actually went back and faced off against Toasty, and all I needed to do was defeat him without getting hit. And on my first attempt I got the trophy, Burnt Toast. I went back to the Peacekeeper world and realized I could shoot a cannon. And one of the minions ended up taunting me and showed me his butt, so I hit him with the cannon. And I got the trophy, Shoot the Moon. I went into the next map and I realized it was snow related, and I ended up defeating 3 enemies that were on skis, and I got the trophy, Triathlon. After this I finished up the Peacekeeper world and I moved on to the next one, which was Magic Crafters. The first map I visited was Alpine Ridge, and I managed to detonate 3 explosive chests and got the trophy, Pops of the Top. The next map I visited I found some giant spiders, and honestly I could not figure out how to defeat them. So I did end up having to look up a guide to help me out, and then I learned that you could perform basically a power dash and the power flame if you find a certain fairy. And once I used both of those, I defeated all 5 spiders and got the trophy, Arachnophobe. I next went into Crystal Flight map and flamed all the fairies and got the trophy, Hot Wings 2. Then I went off to Wizard Peak, and here all I needed to do was take a hidden egg back, and I got the trophy, Egg Hunt. Next, I went into the map Blowheart, and all I needed to do was collect all 400 gems for this one, which didn't seem too difficult, but this did mean I needed to search everywhere. But eventually, after I collected all the gems, I got the trophy, Gatherer. Now before I actually left this world, I had one last trophy to get, and I actually needed to run through 4 armored druids, and thankfully, it was actually super easy once you figure out how to do it, and I got the trophy, Coming Through. Before I make my way to the next world, I actually realized I was missing a trophy from the Peacekeeper world. So I went back and found the map Night Flight, and I managed to flame all the fairies on this map and got the trophy, Hot Wings 1. Now it was finally time to move on to the Beastmakers world. Real quick, one of the things I've learned from gaming is when you spawn into a new map, always look behind you. Because on the first map of this new world, I found a trapped chicken and I managed to get it free and got the trophy, Cage Free. I found the flying map next and ended up completing Wild Flight without touching the ground and got the trophy, I Believe It Is Time for Me to Fly. Now, I went back to a map I previously played called Treetops. Since the first time I played it, I rushed through it. But I wanted to try to get the trophy on this one, and it required you to use all the supercharger jumps on the map. Honest enough, this one was pretty difficult. This map had a few different twists and turns, but I eventually got the trophy, Launch Date. When I got back to the Beastmaker hub world, I went for the trophy there, which required you to find all the glowing mushrooms on the map. Easy enough though, after finding my 5th and final one, I got the trophy, Mushroom Hunter. The last map on this world was called Meadowhead, and I'm required to locate all the gems on this map. This was essentially a boss fight for this world, but it was easy enough, and the most difficult thing ended up being finding the secret area within the map. But after breezing through the whole map and getting all the gems, I got the trophy, Gems in the Rough. Before leaving this world, I had 1 trophy left, and it did require me to backtrack to one of the first maps I completed, but all I had to do was light 3 fireworks within 15 seconds. Easy enough, and right after I finished and got my 3rd one, I got the trophy, Rocketeer. It was finally time to move on to the next world, the Dreamweaver's world. The first map I visited had small dogs that got bigger thanks to a different enemy. I managed to defeat 3 dogs in their large form and got the trophy, Bad Doggies. Going into the next world, I had to look up a guide for this map, since it wanted me to run into 4 puffer birds in a row. Well, I didn't know where to find them, but after some research, I discovered that they were all together and I got the trophy, All Puffed Up. Back on the main hub for the Dreamweaver world, I managed to run through 3 armored fools in a row and got the trophy, Fool's Errand. On the next map, I was required to find the Super Flame and use the supercharged Spyro. I managed to destroy all the 10 soldiers on the map and got the trophy, Scrap Metal. I then found this world's flight map, and similar to the last one, all you had to do was not touch the ground. After a few attempts, I finally managed to pull off an attempt where I destroyed everything and didn't touch the ground and got the trophy, Fly Like an Eagle. Jumping into the last map of the world, all I needed to do was defeat 4 enemies within 1 glide, and once I found the spot to do it, it was super simple, and with that came the trophy, Jackstacular. I actually didn't even finish this map. I quit out of it after getting the trophy, and I immediately found the balloonist and went to the final world, which was Ganasty's world. All 3 maps available in Ganasty's world had trophies related to them, but you had to complete one before the next one would open. So I walked away with 3 trophies. Rat-tastic, what really grinds my gears, Dragon, and on and on. And when Ganasty Gnorc finally defeated, I had 3 trophies left, including the Platinum. But those final trophies, one of them required me to 100% complete the game before I could get to the final stage that also had a trophy related to it. Now, not to bore you with all the details, but this is the point in the game where I went back to each and every stage and hunted down the final gems, dragons, and eggs I was missing. It took me about an hour or 2, but I finally did it, and I went back to Ganasty's world and unlocked Ganasty's loot, and got the trophy, I'm in the money. Now, Ganasty's loot was the last map available within the game. Now, all I was required to do was loot the 2,000 gems that were available here, and after about 15 to 20 minutes or so, I got the last trophy, Order. And with that came the Platinum, Ganasty's Demise, and we were finally done. So what did I think of Spyro in 2025? Did I have as much fun with this game as most people do? How was the Platinum? Would I recommend this to any trophy hunter? And honestly, yes. This game may have been short, but it was a ton of fun. It was nice to just throw this on and finish it within like 2 days. The Platinum experience was super simple and easy to follow. All of the trophies correspond to one map within each world. Most of them tell you which map you'll find them in too, which makes it way easier, which adds to the simplicity of the trophies. If you've never got to fully experience this game like me by chance, I would definitely recommend it to any trophy hunter who doesn't already have it. Even if you aren't a trophy hunter, this game is definitely worth a play. But anyways, my name is Mitch and thanks for stopping by GamerRN. If you enjoyed the video, feel free to hit the like button and subscribe. Comment any games or series of games you want to see me 100% or get the Platinum trophy in. And I'll see you in the next one.